Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. Hot weather and dry conditions are leading to extreme fire danger in the Northwest Territories. There are almost 190 active wildfires in the territory right now across all 5 regions. And for most of the NWT, there's little relief in sight for the dangerous conditions. There are several fires we're keeping an eye on right now. NWT Fire Information Officer Mike Westwick joins me now to give us an update. So Mike, let's start with that Wrigley fire. It has now moved 1 kilometer closer to the community. So what happened there?
Yeah, so yesterday we had overnight wind shift from southerly to northwesterly. It didn't come with much moisture in the air, not good overnight recovery, we call it, in terms of the moisture. So what we did see was some elevated fire activity through the night. There were some minor jump spots over our containment lines we were working on the south there. And, approximately 11 kilometers from town, right in around there is where we're sitting right now. Visibility challenged suppression efforts today, unfortunately, but we were able to get up to get a good look at the fire just recently before I came here. And we did confirm that these are, setbacks, but manageable. And we expect to be able to get aircraft back on the fire, air tanker support, to help the team continue towards their objective of containing that south flank.
Yeah, let's take a look at, we had a map up there, if we can bring that back up in just a second, but we know it's moved 1 kilometer closer. I also saw that it had jumped some of the containment lines. Just explain what we're looking at here, and then tell me what jumping those containment lines means for the protections in place.
Yeah, so what you're seeing on the map is the south end of the fire, largely in the area that's black. That's where crews have been working. They've been extinguishing fire within the perimeter there and have been making really good progress. Now, with the wind shift yesterday, we saw a couple things. Most notably, we saw that line that they were working on, laying hose, putting out flame all along that south flank. In a couple of spots where there's orange that crossed where the black is, we saw fire spot over that line, which is kind of what brought it closer to town there. We also saw a lot of activity on the southwest flank. We also saw a lot of activity north of Mount Gaudette moving there, and that's kind of that big patch of orange that you might see there. Now that's a bit less of a concern because Mount Gaudette itself has some good natural barriers to spread, like some shale rock and the like. So that ridge is something that's kind of not presenting an elevated concern for southward growth there, but the area to the south of Mount Gaudette is kind of where we're working to tie in to the east all the way to the Enbridge pipeline right of way.
Okay, let's go to Fort Simpson now. We know that rain last week gave crews some relief. Tell me how this weather is challenging the lines that they built and the protections they put in place. Yeah,
so what we saw on the north end of that fire is significant activity, about 20 hectares of growth. That's the area towards the Wrigley turnoff. Now, that's challenging for structures along that highway, potentially, which of course is still in our mind, but the main priority lines heading from just north of town all the way to the airport, those have held really well. And the hot spots that did flare up under these challenging conditions haven't threatened any new structures, which is also really good and a testament to the incredible work that have been done by firefighters really from across Western Canada in coming to help defend Fort Simpson, both on the structural and wildland side.
Yeah, I saw some photos from some Yukon wildland firefighters, Yukon First Nations firefighters that were there. Let's talk about Delaunay as well. There are a couple of fires around that community. What's happening there?
Yeah, so the closest fire to the community is VQ071. That fire is about 20 kilometers to the north of Delaunay. There are also 2 other fires to the north, which are 30 kilometers away, roughly, in around there. There's also 3 fires to the south. Now, the good news is that we received some rain. We also were able to get good work done with crews attacking the fires to the north over the past little bit. We expect that we're going to be able to get a handle on those, which is really good. There's no threat at this time to Delaunay. We expect that in the forecast there's some more rain coming through. And the fires to the south of Delaunay are burning in kind of light fuels that's sort of like reindeer lichen, or lichen rather, kind of consistency, which makes it really receptive to rain helping out, as well as crews making quick progress on the line there. So we intend to keep doing that, and it's good to say here that there's not a current threat to Delaunay there.
Excellent, that's great news. Just quickly before I let you go, can you give us an update on what we're expecting with the weather conditions and how that will challenge crews over the next couple of days?
Yeah, for sure. And like across much of the territory, with the exception of parts of the Decho, in the north end of the Decho and the Sawtooth region, and then in the Beaufort Delta, which are potentially getting some relief from rain. With the exception of the north end of the North Slave region, all the way North Slave south, including Fort Simpson, are expecting to see temperatures climbing up into the mid to high 20s, in some cases in the 30s. We're expecting to see elevated winds potentially there. So fire conditions that are very conducive to growth, particularly on those remote fires that are being monitored closely. So people should expect to see fire activity out on the land. Now, crews are actioning a lot of fires, the ones that are of concern to values at risk and potential for growth towards communities and the like. There's a lot of fires, more than I could cover in a segment, that crews are doing amazing work on there. But we need people to really take their responsibility to keep more fire off the landscape from happening, especially since there's more lightning in the forecast along with these conditions.
Okay, Mike, thank you so much. That's Mike Westwick, a wildfire information officer with NWT Fire. Inclusion NWT is warning that without an increase in territorial funding, it'll be forced to cut back or even close down. The nonprofit organization provides support to people in Yellowknife living with disabilities. The organization's director told a legislative committee on Wednesday that support from the NWT has remained stagnant since 2018. He says this left them unable to keep up with the rising cost of living and growing demands for services. And the organization is now at a breaking point.
Ultimately, we've kind of come at an impasse where either we get increased funding, either we can become sustainable, or we can no longer deliver programs, and we have to adjust our model and potentially fold as an organization.
MLAs on the committee were generally supportive of Inclusion NWT's work, and they were open to increasing funding. Russo says people should keep reaching out to Inclusion NWT for support as the funding review process develops. Reaching 911 in an emergency has become a concern for some residents of Yukon's capital. Some areas of Whitehorse experience cellular dead zones with shoddy service. Service provider Bell Mobility has suggested Wi-Fi calling could be an option if regular cell service is unstable. But as Dana Hatherley reports, many say that's not viable.
Why is it that there are parts of the city of Whitehorse within the city limits that do not have cell phone service?
For about 25 years, Barrett Horn lived 12 kilometers up the road from the territory's main hospital. He wonders what might happen if an emergency hits along the road.
That made me think about the dead spots on Long Lake Road. And in the wintertime, that could be a dangerous situation.
Bell recently issued a text message to its customers about calling 911 using Wi-Fi. Bell reminds users to update their emergency address in their phone's Wi-Fi settings in case a caller can't communicate their whereabouts to 911 operators. Jack Rozdilski is an expert in disaster and emergency management. He says improvements are needed because Whitehorse deserves a properly working 911 system. But he says 911 calls are only as strong as the network carrying the call. He says Wi-Fi calling isn't a lifeline. It depends on a user's physical location, matching the address input into their phone's Wi-Fi settings. He says it also relies on the strength of the network.
The easiest way to maybe, at least how I think of this, if one's house is on fire and one calls a fire station, one expects after 911 is called and assuming the call is received, a fire truck shows up dispatched from the firehouse. But the situation with this emergency communication is like saying that the fire hall is fine, while the road between the fire hall and the place where the fire is, the road is washed out.
Rozdilski still recommends updating one's address in their phone's Wi-Fi settings. If the call doesn't connect using Wi-Fi, then he says to turn off Wi-Fi calling and be ready to instead go to the nearest RCMP station or health center. He also suggests using a satellite communicator and says to document and report failures. Yukon NDP leader Kate White agrees Wi-Fi calling isn't always an appropriate option. White says reception issues need to be properly addressed. White agrees with territorial ministers who say the problem is escalating.
So issues around 911 access in the city of Whitehorse, which of course is the capital, has been an issue for a number of years. And so it's really escalated. We're hearing lots of stories now from very specific neighborhoods around the inability to actually make any kind of phone call, including 911. And so it's getting worse.
The opposition leader says fixing the problem requires cell service providers, as well as territorial and federal governments, to step up. Dana Hatherley, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Iqaluit is getting ready to host the Inuit Circumpolar Council General Assembly. Gathering runs from July 22nd to the 25th, and it brings together Inuit from across the world. Artie Sarkisian has more.
Iqaluit will get busy with an international crowd next week. NTI will be hosting the Inuit Circumpolar Council General Assembly. In May, the organization said over 260 people are set to arrive in Nunavut's capital. 66 of them are going to be the delegates, and the rest will be observers. NTI says it has secured all available accommodation in Iqaluit for the guests, hotels, short-term rentals, and Nunavut Arctic College dorms. But on Tuesday, the organization also put out a notice asking Iqaluit if they have any spare rooms they could give to the visitors. Okalek Retiak was ICC's international chair from 2014 to 2018. She says the General Assembly is a chance for Inuit from across the world to come together and take pride in being Inuit.
I know Iqaluit will make everybody that travels there make you feel welcome with open arms.
Inuit Circumpolar Council represents Inuit from 4 different regions. It includes Canada, the US, Greenland, and the Chukotka region of Russia. This will be the Council's 15th General Assembly and only second in Iqaluit. ICC returns to Nunavut for the first time since 1983. The leaders are set to discuss Arctic security, environment, and Inuit languages. During the assembly, Greenland will also pass the chairship of ICC to Canada. The new chair will serve for a 4-year term. Retiak says since its creation, ICC has helped Inuit shape international politics.
Inuit have been leaders since 1977 in advancing Indigenous rights across the world.
Retiak hopes this assembly will once again bring Inuit issues to the forefront. Artie Sarkisian, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Wildfires in northern Ontario were the topic of an emergency resolution at the meeting of the Assembly of First Nations. But the third and final day of the gathering was again dominated by concerns about Ottawa's plans for energy sovereignty. Creason Ajkute reports.
The Chiefs once again voiced their opposition to the Carney government's streamlined approval process for new development projects to 1 year. AFN National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak saying the feds can set all the timelines for the projects, but they cannot put a deadline on Indigenous rights. On the third day of the AFN annual meeting, appearances by Prime Minister Mark Carney's main cabinet ministers kicked off the day, including Minister of Trade and Intergovernmental Affairs Dominic LeBlanc, who promised the federal government would work with Indigenous leaders when building Canada's economy.
We will uphold the rights of Indigenous people, as is our constitutional obligation and as our laws require, and we will seek to bring your communities and the rights holders that you represent in as full partners in these projects.
But National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak isn't convinced.
I think with the Major Projects Office, the federal government can't use them as a crutch to not talk to the First Nations directly when it comes to major projects.
The resolution is before you.
The AFN also voted in favor of an emergency resolution calling for more support for First Nations in northwestern Ontario severely impacted by wildfires, including the Namagusisagogan First Nation, also known as Collins First Nation, located 250 kilometers north of Thunder Bay, which has since burned to the ground. Northern Superior Regional Chief Mel Hardy read a message from the chief of that First Nation that burned down.
We are devastated and have been left to fend for ourselves. The federal and provincial government have turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to our cries for help.
The chiefs say they will continue to make sure their voices are heard, and the ministers are promising more consultation work with the AFN. Indigenous Services Minister Mandigal Masti telling me that Canada is in a wartime stance when it comes to stabilizing Canada's economy, and they need the chiefs' help. Krisa Nachkate, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Northwest Territories has lost a respected leader. Patrick Scott, a well-known Northerner, author, and community advocate, has died. Scott had a long battle with cancer and died yesterday surrounded by loved ones at Stanton Territorial Hospital in Yellowknife. He first traveled to the north in 1975 as a CBC camera operator. He was on an 11-month contract during the Berger inquiry, but he quickly took root in the north and he never left. Over the decades, Scott dedicated himself to land claims negotiations and until recently was negotiations coordinator with the Decho First Nations. In 2000, he spoke with CBC host Paul Andrew right here on Northbeat to give his impressions during the Clichon land claim and self-government negotiations.
And it's the government that quite frequently slows down the process at the table. We've seen what's been happening at Burnt Church. Well, the Department of Fisheries has a notorious reputation for being hard-nosed and inflexible. Well, when you bring that kind of attitude to the table, where does it leave First Nations?
Where does it leave First Nations?
It leaves them between a rock and a hard place, frankly. It means they are stacked right up against a brick wall. And I don't find that to be justice. I don't find that to be an honest recognition of their rights. It's clearly a restriction.
Scott also co-authored the book We Are a River with Paul Andrew. It explores Treaty 11 and its lasting meaning for the Dene people. Those who knew Scott remember him as a genuine person with humility and deep respect for the communities and peoples of the North. Dene National Chief George Mackenzie is Patrick Scott's brother-in-law. We reached him earlier today in Ottawa for his reflections on Scott's life and legacy.
Pat Scott, you can never say enough about Pat. He's a genuine person, very good personality. It's a big loss to the family. I would say not only to the family, but to the mankind as a whole, Pat Scott is a big loss. He's a very true example of what a genuine person should be, could be. He had a very good heart, that Pat.
National Chief, tell me what you think Pat's legacy will be.
Pat legacy came to the North as a young man, as a camera person, covered the Berger inquiries up and down the Mackenzie River and all over the Northwest Territories. So he knows the Dene community really well. The Dene community, they know him really well. He worked many years with the band office in Fort Simpson. Did a lot of other work in Yellowknife, you name it. Pat built a home in Fort Simpson, then built a home in Yellowknife. And I remember that he bought a little cabin in Stag Lake where my sister and Gabriel and us, when we were young, we kind of grew up there, spring hunting there with my dad and mom and my granny. My granny was spring hunting, so he bought the cabin to keep that lake in the house, that cabin in the family. Pat did all that, and Pat loved our culture. I always respect our culture, respect my mom and dad for who they were. That's why it's going to be hard to replace Pat for sure, but it's a shining example for the family, how we should be like him. I appreciate what he did.
What do you think we can all learn from the way that Pat lived his life?
Yes, Pat was not an Aboriginal person, but came north and live among the Aboriginal people, marry into an Aboriginal family. And Pat individually, the way he was brought up with a good heart. Pat has a heart, a golden heart. He liked everybody. I don't think Pat ever gave anybody a hard time that I know of. He's not like us. Pat has a big, big heart, and he loves the people. He likes to associate with people. He likes to make time with people. He is that kind of person. And the legacy, like I said, he truly liked being among the Aboriginal people. Spend a lot of hours and time among Aboriginal people when he gets the chance.
Must-see. Thank you, National Chief, for your time today.
Yes.
Another dog in Pangnaktu, Nunavut has been put down after showing signs of rabies. Officials did not test the dog, so it's not part of the official rabies count. Nunavut's health department says there have been at least 3 confirmed cases of rabies in dogs since April. The department says it received reports of other rabies-related deaths in May, but several animals weren't tested before they were put down. The department wants anyone who came into contact with a loose black and white husky on July 10th to go to the health center. Officials say rabies is deadly and it remains an active and serious threat in Pangnaktu. In the Yukon, women outnumber men on Teslin's volunteer fire department. There are 9 members and 5 of them are women. As the CBC's Leanie Lambrink tells us, it's a point of pride for the department.
These are the bunker pants, and then we have our jackets, and we've got extra high vis on them now on our new bunker gear.
Jenny Roberts joined the Teslin Volunteer Fire Department in 2017. She didn't know it back then, but she would be part of a gradual shift toward a largely female team. Almost 10 years later, more than half the volunteer fire department's members are women.
It makes me really proud, and until Fire Chief pointed it out, I hadn't actually really noticed, because we're one big unit, and your gender doesn't matter. We're just a team.
Roberts may not have noticed the team was made of more women than men, but training officer Jillian Rourke sure did.
I noticed it the day it happened. I've been watching us creep closer and closer to that. I mean, a big part of attributing that ratio, having more women here, has been Ember Academy.
Ember Fire Academy is the Yukon government's free fire training program. It's specifically meant for women and non-binary people. Rourke, who is also deputy chief of the academy, says 3 members of the Teslin Volunteer Department went through Ember first. Veronica Huggard says she didn't know exactly what she was getting herself into when she signed up.
While I was there, I was like, this definitely has potential, and this is most likely going to be my outlet to support my community beyond my job as a teacher. So yeah, once I was a couple days in, I was like, okay, we're locked in. This is going to be great.
Huggard says she did the training and joined the volunteer department while pregnant. Her daughter Mina is now about 2.5 months old.
It is always challenging being a woman and maneuvering being pregnant and your identity and what you're able to give. However, this hall has been nothing but welcoming and supportive. Not only through my pregnancy, but also afterwards. Mina often joins me in whatever we're doing at the hall.
The Teslin Volunteer Fire Department responds to anywhere from 12 to more than 20 calls per year. They also spend time doing community outreach, maintaining equipment, and different kinds of training. In rural Yukon, 2 hours away from Whitehorse, they have to be ready for anything.
What are women bringing to the firefighting team? Everything that men bring to the team. You know, I wouldn't want to say that any gender carries any kind of attributes that the other doesn't, because I see great things in everybody in the department, and it's just really nice to bring diversity from all genders.
My little guy, he's already talking about that he's going to be the next fire chief, and
I keep laughing because I was like, your little sister's probably going to give you a run for your money.
The program that work credits with building this female firefighting talent is going to be in Teslin later this summer. It'll be the first time that Ember Fire Academy will be held outside of Whitehorse. Leanie Lambrink, CBC News, Teslin.
Yellowknife residents who live near Tin Can Hill may hear some drilling for the next few months. Mining company Gold Terra will be doing some exploration in the area. It's part of the company's effort to resume gold production at Con Mine. Gold Terra's CEO says the surface drilling is planned to run 12 hours a day until the end of the year, but it will be in an area away from the trails.
So it's kind of an area which basically will not disturb anybody who's walking with their dog. There will be a security fence and it will be a guard when we don't drill at night. So all the disposition for safety and security have been taken for the residents.
Penton says any future mining in the area will be underground. He says Gold Terra plans to have a town hall in Yellowknife in October, but residents can ask questions to the staff at the drilling site in the meantime. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.